Okay, so how do we make new words? Let's take a look at some word formation processes. So where do these new words come from? And why do we need new words? We do because the world changes and grows, and language has to change and grow with the world. So we need to come up with new words to expand vocabulary, to refer to new things, or sometimes what happens is that a word might change in its connotation. It might begin to mean something different, and so a new word is needed to replace the old word. There's all kinds of reasons. The thing to remember is that creating new words is perfectly normal, natural part of language. So one way is with affixation and derivation. So that is the creation of new words through the use of affixation to root words. And we saw a little bit of that in the previous video. So if we look, we've got nation, and that becomes national, which can become nationalize, which becomes nationalize, which becomes renationalization, anti-renationalization, anti-renationalizationism, and anti-renationalizationism. Z in the plural. Because remember, the z is the plural, and that has to go all the way at the edge because it's a function morpheme. Reduplication is a process whereby all or part of a word is copied over to express some meaningful distinctions. So in Indonesian, anak is child, but anak-anak means children. Orang is one man, orang-orang means men. Something very similar in Turkish. Okay, if you repeat the word for quickly, you get very quickly. If you repeat the word for slowly, you get very slowly. In Tagalog, if you repeat part of the word to run, then that makes it in the future. Same thing with the word walk. With the verb, you repeat part of it, that means will walk. In your native language, are there any examples of reduplication that you can think of? Other ways of forming words, this one is kind of fun. It's compounding, where you combine two or more simple words, simple word morphemes, and you get a new word. So for instance, male, man, you have male and you have man. Now we say male carrier, but once upon a time only men did this work. So male, man. A brain trust is a collection of people who think about things, who have ideas. Okay, a factory outlet store. Flaxseed oil capsules, so you could just keep building them up. Subway sandwich discount coupon booklet. Okay, and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So the component pieces may not retain the literal meaning, and the combination may not yield predictable compositional meaning. So sometimes with compounding, with these examples that we just gave, they seem to be pretty straightforward. Sometimes it doesn't work that way, and we'll see that a little bit later. So look at this, for instance. We have a greenhouse. Okay, and then we have a greenhouse. The first one, a greenhouse, is a house that is painted green. The second one, a greenhouse, is a structure for cultivating plants. And you'll notice that there's a difference in where the stress goes. A greenhouse or a greenhouse. The change in the stress also tells you where that whether you're dealing with a house that is painted green or if it's a structure for cultivating plants. Just for fun here, take a minute. This is an extract from the show Breaking Bad. There, Jesse explains to Walt the difference between a criminal lawyer and a criminal lawyer. So in this case, he deconstructs the compound noun, criminal lawyer, that is a lawyer who defends criminals, into an adjective plus a noun, that is a lawyer who is himself a criminal. So as mentioned before, compounds are non-compositional and unpredictable in meaning, or they can be. So if we have an adjective plus noun, that's compositional. We have a tall building, that means a building that is tall. Tall person is a person who is tall, and a tall tree is a tree who is tall. So you have tall and you have tree, and you put them together and you have an adjective plus a noun. Then you have compounds. Well, a smokestack is a chimney. It's something that emits smoke, but it is not a stack made of smoke. A smoke screen is a diversion. It's something to cover, but is it made of smoke? Well, it may be once upon a time. That was the origin of the word, but nowadays we don't mean it literally. And a smokehouse is a place for curing meat. It's something that uses smoke, but it is not a house made of smoke. You have, for compounding, you have different kinds of compounds again, the endocentric compounds. So in the endocentric compounds, the rightmost element of the compound provides a general category and meaning. So a notebook is a kind of a book. A fire hose is a kind of hose. A campfire is a kind of fire. Okay. Exocentric, you have to be careful. You can't be literal with these. So a Walkman is not a kind of man. And for you youngins, a Walkman is what used to be before we could listen to music on our telephones. We had these little portable tape players, and they were called Walkmen. A hot dog is not a kind of dog. A couch potato is not a kind of potato. Word formation processes continuing. So blending is a lot of fun because then you've got a combination of parts of two simple words. Breakfast and lunch gives brunch. Dance plus exercise gives dancercise. Television evangelist gives televangelist. Can you think of any others in your language? Clipping is when you very simply shorten the word. So condominium is a condo. A narcotics agent, narc. Physical education in school, phys ed. Back formation is when you create a new form through misanalysis. So for instance, you have teach, you add which means a person who does, and you get teacher. Farm, you have farmer. Write, writer. But then we have burglar, which is a person who breaks into houses to steal things. And by the back formation, we take out the to get to burgle, which means to break into houses to steal things. But that actually is not the original meaning. That's a back formation. An acronym is a word formed through the combination of the first sounds or sometimes the letters in a multi-word label. So, self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, SCUBA. And there's a difference between acronyms and initialisms. So acronyms, you actually read them as a word. NASA, AIDS, UTEP, MAD, HUD. Initialisms, you read the initials. ASU, CIA, FBI, UCLA, WHO. Borrowing is very frequently done, and some languages resist borrowing for some reason or other, or the academies in those languages, in those cultures, rail against borrowing, but people are still going to do it. And it's a lot of fun. Basically, you just take something from another language. Usually it refers to something that's borrowed from that culture, and very frequently it refers to things such as food. So sushi, taco, pizza, pasta, quiche, barista. Barista is a new word in English with the rise of coffee houses. Calcs are loan translations. So the foreign language compound provides a template, and then you substitute native morphemes. So for instance, in English, we have the skyscraper, and in Spanish, rascacielos, and in French, gratte-ciel, where basically they took the word skyscraper and just poked in the French or the Spanish. Spanish had the word sangre azul, and English took that to be blue blood. German had Ohrwurm, English, that meant earworms. So you just take the words from a language and translate directly. Coinage is an invented word. It's the name for, usually the name for a particular product, and then it becomes a general reference. So for instance, Xerox, originally it's a company name, but now we mean basically to make any kind of photocopy. Kleenex is a facial tissue. Again, it was a brand, but now we use it generally to mean any kind of facial tissue. Conversion is another word formation process that seems to be very current right now. So word is given a new function, but there's no overt morphological change. So, and it often involves the shift from one category to another. So a noun becomes a verb becomes an adjective. Okay, so for instance, hammer, which is the noun, it becomes a hand. It means a hand tool with a long handle and a metal head used for striking or pounding. And now we say hammer, and that means to hit repeatedly or to pound. And you don't even need to be holding a hammer in order to be hammering. You hammer home the point by repeating something repeatedly. Semantic shift means that the word is constant in form, but the meaning is altered. So for instance, broadening, the meaning of the word becomes broader, so it's used in more contexts. The word aunt used to refer to just the father's sister, not the mother's sister, but the father's sister. And now it means essentially either the mother or the father's sister. And sometimes it's used as in some cultures, it can also be used to refer to a close friend. Okay, a bird used to mean a small fowl, and now it means any feathered winged creature is a bird. Narrowing means that it's the opposite of broadening, and it means that the word is used in fewer contexts. Meat used to mean any food. So meat and drink meant solid food and something to drink. Now, meat refers to food that is derived from animal flesh. And I think it might even be narrowing even more. Sometimes people refer to meat for things that they don't consider, for instance, fowl, like chicken or turkey, to be meat. Hound used to refer to any dog, but now it refers to a particular breed of dog. Sometimes there's a semantic shift where there's amelioration, where the word takes on a positive connotation. So the word nice used to mean foolish or stupid. Now it means pleasant. Brave used to mean barbaric or cruel, and now it means courageous. Pejoration means that the word takes on negative connotations. So silly used to mean happy and prosperous. Now it means foolish. Awful used to mean awe-inspiring. Awful, full of awe. Now it means terrible. Word formation is a lot of fun, and we do it a lot in languages, and it's what gives languages its richness and creativity.